And welcome back to another week of high school game day here. Wonderful first sign, Mr. Buteau. He has the signs out. It's getting a little bit more realistic, but I'm not sure if I agree with this one.
Hasn't been officially banned yet, but there's still time apparently. So we'll see if he joins us later on in the broadcast, if he's actually banned. So yeah, that should be interesting to see what the final decision is.
All right, let's go ahead and get started with our picks this week. No UCLA this week. Sad times. We don't get to hear a erratic rant from Mr. Chai, but we got some great picks this week. It is the first official week of college football, and let's go ahead and get started with number 25 Stanford playing at home against Northwestern.
Northwestern's always sneaky good. They're always going to be mediocre, but, you know, they're always going to challenge teams. So this game will be close, but I'm going to go with Stanford. But I feel like I need to bring up UCLA's performance last night. It's not good. It's not looking good. Looks like another 3-9 season inbound. I feel like, Mr. Chai, you've got to agree on that. You've even said DTR is not the answer, which he is not. 8 for 26. It's not going to get it done.
That is absolutely not going to get it done, and I am shocked. You know what? This is one of those things, though, where you have to believe your eyes, right? And in spring, I saw DTR, and he didn't pass the eye test. He didn't. And I just wanted to believe the best because my fan heart took over, and the reality is... keep the camera over here. The reality is, that is tomfoolery. UCLA will be fine. They need to figure out the QB situation clearly, because this is not a year where you can blame running. 163 on the ground. It wasn't the running, and it's not the O-line. The protection's there. This is a situation where a young quarterback is in over his head, and the speed of the game has changed. Let's talk about the realities, like you guys said last year, which is DTR wasn't a QB in high school, and I'm starting to believe now that if you're not a QB in high school, you can't play QB at the next level.
I mean, can't even start over Tate Martell.
Tate Martell. I knew it was going to come up.
All right, Chai, your pick.
Stanford, because they're smarter than Northwestern.
Ben Jurasic is going to Stanford. My sister went to Northwestern. Ben Jurasic is a better football player than my sister, therefore Stanford.
And we are letting this man on this broadcast. Why?
He's the president.
He kind of forced his way on.
We can't say no.
Let's keep going.
I'm going to pick Stanford as well. I see this being a really close game. Northwestern's looking to replace their quarterback, but they got the former number 1 overall quarterback transferring from Clemson. So I see it being a close game, but I still have Stanford winning at home. Next, we'll move on to the game that just got moved to Tallahassee, Boise State at Florida State.
I remember when both of these teams were good. But I'm going to go with Florida State because now they're both irrelevant. Florida State was terrible last year. I don't know what Boise State did, but it wasn't much. But, you know, they got Justin Blackman starting for Florida State. I know that. Maybe he shows me something, so I'm going to go with the Seminoles.
I'm going to have to say that Florida State is literally worse than Boise State. And it's not because, we talk about the lack of luster in Florida, but here's the reality. It's not that the Broncos are good and they're going to win. It's that Florida State's bad and they're going to lose.
I remember the day when Florida was great in football, right? Florida State, Miami.
That's last week's
They used to make in your boots, right? And no more. The only Quakes now are here in California, Boise State.
Yeah, I have a gut feeling Boise State's going to win this game. They have the true freshman starting at quarterback, but Florida State's not good. And even if Blackman comes out of the game, Hornibrook's not good either. So I picked Boise State over Florida State.
Let's get to the game day game.
And now the really best game of the week.
The only game.
The pretty much only game at AT&T Stadium. Number 11, the Oregon Ducks play number 16, the Auburn Tigers.
I'm going to have to go with Oregon on this one simply just because of the experience. You know, they have Justin Herbert, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation right now. And Auburn, on the other hand, is starting a freshman with Bo Nix. And a freshman's first game at AT&T Stadium against a good team like Oregon, I just don't see it happening for Auburn, so I'm going Oregon.
Auburn's best quality as a team is their defensive line, and it's going to be stymied by arguably the best right side in the nation on Oregon's offensive line. I think that Justin Herbert is a little overblown. He's no Trevor Lawrence. He looks like Trevor Lawrence because you put a phenomenal line in front of him. So I'm going to go with Oregon on this one.
Against my better judgment, we're going with the Oregon Ducks. Never, ever go against the SEC, no matter how much I dislike them. But I think Oregon's going to have a year this year. They've been building. I think they're the real deal.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oregon, too. They're returning 19 starters on this team, their entire offensive line, all 5 of them. They're returning their future first-round pick quarterback with their top 2 running backs. They're easily going to win this game at AT&T. And, yeah, that's all I have to say about this one.
No, just keep going.
No, we won't even entertain that.
It's not even worth it.
It's troll bait.
Okay, now we will move on to a lesser game. The Virginia Cavaliers travel to Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Panthers.
I'm going to go with Virginia. I don't really got a reason for it. I'm going to just go with Virginia. Went 8-5 last year. That's not that bad. Pittsburgh's always mediocre. I'm going to just go with Virginia.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a game that's going to be filled with errors. That's what I'm going with. I'm going to say that Virginia pulls it out in the end, but this is not going to be a pretty game. And this is another example where the ACC is Clemson.
And Clemson? Just Clemson?
That is all.
It's just Clemson.
I don't even like the most exciting storyline of the ACC is Clemson, and then Mac Brown is back. That's literally it. So I just don't see this going anywhere.
Yeah, I've got the Cleveland Browns in this one.
They should win this one.
They should have a.
You would think.
You never know.
No.
If it was still Hugh Jackson,
We got Virginia versus
would be close.
Dan Marino's going to come out for Pittsburgh and have a good game. That's right. Dan Marino is no longer with Pittsburgh. They haven't been relevant since.
Larry
Fitzgerald.
Larry Johnson. No, that's Penn State.
Larry Fitzgerald. LaShawn McCoy.
That's right.
Cleveland Browns going 1-0.
Aaron Donald.
James, no respect for James Conner.
James Conner, yeah. No, Pitt's actually had a couple of good NFL players come out. Yeah, speaking of Pitt, I'm going to pick Pitt.
Okay.
My gut wants me to pick Pitt, but my heart wants me to pick Virginia. Bryce Perkins is a good quarterback, very underrated, but I am going to pick Pitt since it's at home for them. Now we will move. Now we will move on, and for the Pac-12 at night game, despite one team not being in the Pac-12, we got Fresno State traveling to the Coliseum to play the USC Trojans.
USC is terrible at everything. The whole school should get swallowed up by the earth. They're awful in life. The only one that can love them is Jesus and their mama is barely. Fresno State for the win. Go Green Bee.
I'm going to just go based off of like kind of streaks. So Fresno State, they're always good like once every 4 years. They had their good year last year. So I'm going to go with USC. I'm not a huge believer in JT Daniels, but I feel like with it being at the Coliseum, and they also have Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? And he's one of the better players in the nation. So I'm going to just go with sheer talent level, and I'm going to go with USC.
Fresno State needs Derek Carr to come out of the tunnel to win this one, but he's not. He's playing on Sundays now. So I just don't see a path for Fresno State. It kills me. I hate rooting for USC. I'm not rooting for USC, but I'm picking USC.
So, where did you get your master's degree, Mr. Chai?
UCLA East.
No. You want to expand on that thought of why you hate USC and why
The most important thing that we need to remember here is that Fresno State has the defense to match, and when you think about USC not having a game plan, Clay Helton being absolutely lost, I think that Jeff Tedford is going to pull this one out.
I can't wait for Urban Meyer to be USC's coach next year. Can't wait for it. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, the NCAA sanctions that are possible.
I think there's a higher probability that Urban Meyer becomes USC's head coach than UCLA going undefeated in a season in the next 10 years.
Okay, let's see.
All right, I'm gonna pick. Yeah, where are you picking? I'm picking USC, obviously. I think that they're a better team than Fresno State. JT Daniels in his second year, and St. Brown being back for his second year too. I think that USC has an upside. They can only get better from last season's disappointing 5-win season. And then now we're going to move on to the Sunday game. The Houston Cougars play in Houston at the Texan Stadium against the Oklahoma Sooners.
A big Power 6 game right here. Yes, I said, nah, they're not a Power 6 conference, and for that reason I'm going Oklahoma. Oklahoma, they're starting Jalen Hurts, only has lost twice, and if we're going off, I'm going off of streaks and what has happened with transfers in Oklahoma, they win the Heisman that year, so I'm going with Oklahoma.
Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the country, not named Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa. That's a fact.
I was getting very nervous there for a second.
It's a fact. It's a fact, right? I mean,
I would take Adrian Martinez. He picked Oklahoma.
We're going to Oklahoma. Nothing more. It could be a 40 spot. It's not going to be a game.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Oklahoma too. Although Derek King's a really good quarterback for Houston, I see it being a little competitive, but Oklahoma's going to blow them out of the water towards the end of the fourth quarter. They're going to win big. Now we're going to move to our first NFL pick of this game day year. We got the Thursday night game, the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears.
Can't wait. Also, I'm very excited about this Packers season. One, because we're not running the same plays that we've been running for the past 8 years. We got a new coach, Aaron Rodgers, in a new system, not running the same plays. I feel like things are going to go a lot better. I feel like we're going to make it back to the playoffs. We're going to make it back to the Super Bowl. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Feeling high on this Packers team. We'll probably fall short anyways. I know that. But I'm not a huge believer in the Bears. I hate the Bears. It's not going to happen for the Bears, but it is going to happen for the Packers. Go, Pack, go.
Go ahead.
Kyle Gwynn, couldn't disagree with you more. Chicago Bears are building, just like the Oregon Ducks, college football. Chicago Bears are building. Doesn't mean I like them, but you got to give them credit. Aaron Rodgers, I never wish a guy injury. Won't surprise me if he gets knocked out of this game, though. I think the Bears' defense is stout. Beware of the monsters of Midway.
Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Thank you.
Not named Tom Brady.
Oh, come on. Tom Brady's a system QB, but...
He is a system QB, but that system wins Super Bowls.
Yeah, so...
And I'm going to say...
The Patriots went 11-5 with Matt Castle as their quarterback.
I also believe that. I also believe that Jimmy G is a system guy. Look, the reality is that Aaron Rodgers might be the best pure quarterback in the NFL, and hopefully now he has a system that's going to show.
Hey, he's a great thrower, but you got to be able to protect him. Got to protect him, and I don't see it. And there is a guy named.
And the system is not drop back anymore.
There is a guy named Baker Mayfield.
Oh my gosh!
Disagree with the top quarterback in the league. Baker Mayfield.
Make that your.
Baker Mayfield's not even a top 10 quarterback.
Make that your cover photo now.
I don't know why you guys are laughing.
He's not even top 10.
Hey, we got to talk about the Eagles. Come on.
Have we mentioned the Browns are going to go 1-0?
Oh, my.
Have we mentioned they're going to be the AFC champions? Have we mentioned the Giants?
Take control of your
The first and last appearance of Mr. Buteau on this game day broadcast this season.
Well, if it's going to be my last appearance, I'm going to go down and swing. Let's talk about the Giants for a second, can we? Can we make a prediction? What's going to be their overall record? Anyone want to go above 3 for the season?
I was going to say 3-13, actually.
Yeah, I'll say 3.
Saquon's going to win at least a couple.
Dallas without Zeke Elliott, right? I mean, that's come on, Knight. You going above 3 or below?
I'll take the over. Honestly, I'm taking the over on 3.
Got to believe in Daniel Jones.
Okay, so
I'd take the over.
My work is done.
Bring back Thiessen. Bring back Thiessen.
Next week.
Next week we'll hopefully have Thiessen back.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna pick the Bears at home. I want to pick the Packers.
The Bears.
I thought you were going to wear your BJ Rodgers
Yeah, I was gonna pick the Packers, but since it's at Chicago, It's a night game. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy. I'm going to pick the Bears. Better defense.
Are we forgetting what happened last week 1?
Yeah,
between the Packers and the Bears.
I have, and I just have this feeling that the Bears are going to win with Trubisky in his 3rd year. And now we're going to finally move on to our own game for this week. BCHS travels up to Visalia for the Milk Bowl against CVC.
CVC has bad milk. That's all I'm going to say. BCHS.
Yeah, let's take a moment to dwell on the fact that the Mission Bowl, it was 0-0 at the half, and then it was 22-0. I'm proud of the adjustments our boys and our coaches make at halftime. I think that happens this year. CVC, the last 2 years didn't go well, and I think it's because we weren't ready for the size. This year I've seen what the boys are doing in the film room, and I've seen what they're doing on the field. I think they're going to be ready. I think Ben has a monster game on defense. I think that we're going to grind, and that's not historically how we've played CVC, and I think that's what's going to be the difference this year.
I like what I'm seeing from BCHS this year. We expected to win last Friday. We won last Friday. But we're acting like, we got business to do still. We're not celebrating. We're looking to the next game. And I'm really excited for tonight. I think we're ready to play. CVC has a great program, but so do we. We're balanced this year. You see that. Both sides of the ball, run, pass. I think we got a legit team. Looking for us to make a sectional title run this year again. And 28-21, I think we get a good CVC team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really good game. It's going to be based on the quarterback play, I feel. Last week, we got a couple of jitters in the first half, but by the second half, we kind of settled in with that run game. I think we keep it up this week against CVC. Like you said, we're being pretty humble, and we're just looking forward one game at a time, and I think that's what's going to take to win this game tonight. I'm going to have this game 34-21.
I'm going to go with a little bit higher because I fundamentally believe that we know what we're about now. And when I see the performance that CVC put up against St. Joe's, I think that's who they are. They're not the same teams that they used to be where they're bruisers, and I think that we're going to meet them medal for medal. I'm going with 42-21.
Oh, I didn't get I'll go 28-14 BCHS.
And that'll do it for this week's college, high school, NFL game day. We'll see you guys next week, and don't forget to tune in tonight for the Milk Bowl, CVC versus BCHS.